Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and enjoy this fanfic part 2. Now let's start the fanfic. Kakashi found himself sitting outside of Naruto's bedroom door. His sensitive ears could hear her even breaths through the walls and he resisted the urge to be closer to his wife. Placing his head in his hands, Kakashi felt pathetic as he looked. They were barely married for a week and he grew obsessively attached. After dinner, they cleaned and washed up before Kakashi shooed Naruto to sleep because of her constant yawning. Part of Kakashi regretted not taking the opportunity to discuss sharing the bed for tonight. A few more days, Kakashi mumbled to himself, trying to convince himself that he could hold off for a few more days. However, his twitching fingers and his erratic heart never stilled. Surely, it'll be okay if I sleep with her door open, Kakashi tried to rationalize sneaking into Naruto's room. His wife's room. It wasn't until he was standing at the edge of her bed, watching her sleep that Kakashi knew he made a big mistake. He was just supposed to linger outside her door, not come in. When Kakashi saw her breathing under the light of the moon, he swallowed thickly. He couldn't believe that a few days ago she was soaking wet at his door begging for his hand in marriage to now, where she was sleeping peacefully and all warm in her bed. Kakashi had been observing his wife for a while, but now he could take in all her features in a different light. Her eyelashes were long but only curled slightly, but almost straight enough to tickle her cheeks. The plump cheeks he knew she used to have as a youngster had smoothed out into a slim and firm jaw, and her pink lips made Kakashi's chest growl, reminding him of this morning when he ravished them. Kakashi found himself drawn to his wife and knew Naruto would have his soul and mind forever. Soon, Kakashi found himself sitting at the edge of her bed. His hand reached out to trace her face. He recalled their memories together. From their relationship as teacher and student to colleagues, friends, and now to husband and wife. Kakashi recalled the times when Naruto would welcome his odd quirks and behaviors, never scolding or looking down on him, never pitying him or trying to discredit his long grief. He realized, besides perhaps Guy and Asuma, she was the only one who saw him as Kakashi Hatake, not by his titles. I'm an idiot, Kakashi. Naruto grumbled, her eyes peeling open to see her husband smiling apologetically at her. I'm sorry for waking you, Kakashi whispered, trying to lull her back to sleep when Naruto tried to get up. I'll go out now. As he went to stand, he halted when Naruto grabbed his hand. Kakashi couldn't bring himself to look her in the eyes. I should go, Naruto. Stop, Naruto said firmly. Don't forget, I also know how you feel. Sitting up slowly, Naruto opened up her bed for Kakashi, scooting over to make room for him. I can feel your pull and longing. I didn't want to pry, but come to bed, Kakashi. We both have a busy day tomorrow. A growl hummed at his lips. I promised you that I wouldn't touch you until you're ready. If, Kakashi felt his chest rumble, his breathing labor, as his eyes stayed on Naruto's fingers wrapped around his wrist. I don't trust myself to stay this close with you. I'll get greedy. Kakashi, Naruto called him gently, patting the cooling space beside her, then trust me. I know you won't hurt me, Kakashi. You've never given me a reason to not trust you. Kakashi, bravely, brought his eyes up to Naruto. His mismatched eyes greeted her cool blues. She held his gaze firmly. That part of him wanted to challenge her. Challenge his wife. He was the one who was supposed to seduce her. I'm going to hold you. I'll hold you so tight that if you try to escape me I won't be settled with just a kiss. Kakashi saw her gaze darken before they returned to their normal soft hue. It was almost instant and he would have missed it if they weren't husband and wife. Only when Naruto nodded, giving him consent, did Kakashi slide in beside her. Pulling the blanket over them, Kakashi tested the waters and wrapped his arm around her waist. He felt her stiffen, yet she relaxed soon after as he pulled her close to his body. They had shared a sleeping bag in the past, but this was different. The intentions were different. Bringing his other arm under her shoulders, Kakashi molded his body around his wife and entwined their legs. Kakashi could finally sigh in relief. his body shuddering and getting rid of his lingering tension as the scent of Naruto calmed him down. Feeling her squirm in his embrace, Kakashi growled but calmed down once he realized she was trying to hug him back as one of her hands settled on his back and another on his chest. He found himself purring as he snuggled into her hair, planting a chaste kiss on her temple. "Thank you," he whispered, only to be greeted by Naruto's soft tufts as she quickly fell asleep. Kakashi still had the urge to devour her, but the feeling was reduced significantly by being this close to her. Quickly, Kakashi found his hands touching her bare back, tracing soft circles on her skin as her warm body heat and the rhythmic beating of her heart on his chest lulled Kakashi into the most comforting sleep he's had in over a decade. Morning. Kakashi tried to hide his smile. He could feel Naruto trying to escape his embrace in her little sighs of frustration. Kakashi's hidden smile turned into a moan when Naruto, in her attempts to flee, rubbed against him and he held her tightly to stop her movements. "Be careful. If you move a bit more I might snap," he warned, opening his eyes to see her staring up in surprise. "For a shinobi, you're terrible at escaping." Naruto felt her cheeks flush. "I'm not trying to escape. I'm trying to free my hands so I could wake you up to let me go." "Ma, same thing." Naruto squealed when she felt Kakashi's warm hands move along her back and gave him a dirty look. "Stop it. That tickles." 5 more minutes, Kakashi negotiated, "then we get up." "Liar." Naruto knew Kakashi's personality. "I have to get this place ready for your stuff before I go to work." Kakashi replied, "I'll move everything if you give me this time." Instantly, he knew his words appealed to the blonde when she didn't quip back. In fact, she seemed to settle down in his arms. This time, Kakashi didn't hide his smile and kissed her forehead. "What time do you need to be at work?" "Before midday. I use my clones to help me out, so as long as I make it in by midday I can get most of my work done." "And if you left now?" Kakashi asked, gauging her workload. "I could probably finish tomorrow's work too. How does this sound?" Kakashi pulled back and caught her curious gaze. "I'll get your place set up, you head into work now, I'll guard over you once I'm done and tomorrow we can spend some time together and talk over the finer details." Whoa, back up a bit there. What did you say before that?" Naruto frowned. "Guard me. I don't need a watch. The spy master's office is the most secure place in Konoha." Kakashi hummed. "True, but don't forget the council doesn't know you're married and Sasuke could turn up at any time." Kakashi's thoughts turned dark as his hold on his wife tightened. "I wouldn't be surprised if Danzo and his puppets attempt to get you while Tsunade-sama, Jiraiya-sama and I aren't looking." He traced her cheek, trying to soothe her anxieties. "The council often forgets there's more to a bloodline than just dojutsu." Naruto swallowed her worries and asked, "Do you mean like the Uzumaki life force?" "Exactly." Kakashi nodded. "The Hatake clan, a long time ago, were well known for their dense chakra. This allows for those with Hatake blood to perform high chakra taxing jutsu for only half the chakra cost. Even less for those with perfect chakra control." This surprised Naruto. "Okay, that explains a lot of the weird things about you." Kakashi scoffed. No, I'm serious." Naruto tried to explain. "I mean, your Sharingan never turns off and with some missions you'd have your eye open for hours and spamming jutsu without showing fatigue. I know you also have a slightly larger than average chakra pool, but I couldn't understand how you made it work. I thought you were on drugs." Kakashi nipped her cheek, making Naruto giggle. "Not drugs. Genetics. Just like how you're able to spend days awake, fighting, moving and being on watch yet you only need a few hours sleep to recharge. But that's different. When I'm home it all hits me at once," Naruto pointed out. "I'm only like that because I want my team to survive." Kakashi pondered on her words for a while. "Yes, but not everyone can pull that off. I could, but I wouldn't last more than 5 days tops. You keep that drive for almost 2 weeks. No human can do that, Naruto." "No human can do 5 days," Naruto rebuffed. "Okay, fine, I will admit we're a bit odd." "Genetics," Kakashi confirmed for them. "By the way, I've been meaning to ask, How is your skin so smooth? To prove his point, Kakashi's palms glided over her soft back, causing her to pant against him. Cut that out. It feels weird, Naruto grumbled, yet her body betrayed her and arched with his movements. You're annoying, you know that. I've been told several times. Kakashi nudged her scrunched up nose with his own. Well, why are you soft? Naruto rolled her eyes. It's Kyubi. They're a bit vain and want me to look my best to attract the best partner. So, they heal all my wounds so there are no scars, make sure I don't get sunburnt, any pimples I get don't last long, and make my hair strong and healthy. It took a lot of convincing to allow my hands to be callous though. I never would have thought that. Kakashi chuckled. So, since Kyubi also chose me, I can take it that Kyubi put in all this work to attract me. It was instant. Naruto's face turned as red as a tomato as a small trickle of blood seeped down her nose. He was quick to wipe her nose and felt his ego boost. Kakashi let Naruto slip out of his arms and scamper away. It would do him no good to have his wife avoid him if he smothered her. Getting out of bed, Kakashi stretched before looking around Naruto's room. He had some work cut out for him, but getting rid of her small bed wouldn't be a problem. His ankles felt stiff from hanging over the edge, but otherwise, Kakashi had a great sleep, although cramped. Leaving her room, Kakashi could hear the tap running in the bathroom and decided to find something to eat. He was glad that he thought ahead yesterday and packed some groceries. Making a simple breakfast of eggs on toast, Kakashi made a small bento for Naruto to take to work. While observing her last night, Kakashi had noticed the remnants of dark circles under her eyes, and now he knew about Kyubi's work. Kakashi understood that he couldn't rely on Naruto's appearance to know if she wasn't okay. He would work harder to find her smaller habits to read his wife easier. Kakashi bit the inside of his cheek when his wife approached him from behind and gave him a back hug. Her small hands were on his chest as her head leaned between his shoulder blades. Ready to tell me what Kyubi whispers to you? Over my dead body, Naruto scoffed, looking around Kakashi and noticing the bento he was making. She felt her heart flutter. Is this for me? His hum in response made her shy. How long do I have before you go apeshit and find me? Kakashi laughed, but there was a slight edge to it. Her words held true. Don't worry. I'll find a way to convince Tsunade-sama to let me guard you. I want you to be safe. We don't know the full skill sets of Danzo's men or Sasuke's mental state and capabilities. He felt her cling to him tighter, her fingers trembling against his shirt. I won't let Sasuke take you, Naruto. I promise. Can't you kill him? Naruto grumbled. And deal with Sakura afterward. No thank you. Kakashi tried to uplift the mood. I'd rather pair those two together and let him suffer being Sakura's partner. Naruto laughed, pulling away from Kakashi, and said, so you're aware enough that Sakura is scary when it comes to love, but not enough to know we don't get along. Kakashi shrugged, bringing their breakfast over to the table. You'll be surprised at how much you miss despite being a shinobi. Taking a seat, Naruto blessed their food before saying, you know, I don't think we've ever had a casual conversation like this before. You're right. Kakashi paused, waiting until Naruto took the first bite before he did. Did you ever see us as close friends? Definitely friends, but I wouldn't say close, Naruto admitted truthfully, but if I was just talking about friends, you would be the one I trust the most in that group. My only close friend is actually Shikamaru. His family would take me in when I was a kid whenever the celebration of Kyubi's sealing happened or whenever Auntie Yoshino managed to track me down to stay the night. Kakashi put down his fork, forcing himself to ask, then why didn't you marry Shikamaru? Seems like you are already family to them. Without his consent, a deep growl rippled from his lips. I don't look at Shikamaru the way I look at you, Naruto explained softly, just like you, I want a real marriage and of course, Kyubi needs to agree with me. I like you, Kakashi. I admire everything about you. Reaching over, she held his hand. In a way, they had to comfort each other's anxieties with this new marriage. Kakashi shuddered. Naruto, Why didn't you just leave? Disappear from the village? Well, Naruto mulled over her words, I'd be labeled either a missing nin or wanted and dragged back to Konoha. I would never know peace. Either way, we would be enemies and I don't think I'd be able to handle seeing you look at me like an enemy. I would never treat you like that. Kakashi was firm in his beliefs. Naruto had a weak smile. You're saying that because we're married. You're a scary person when you come across a threat to Konoha. She could sense his internal struggle but he couldn't voice it. I could have left. It would be easy for me to disappear but I know I'd live in regret if I didn't at least approach you. Naruto continued eating her breakfast, giving Kakashi time to process her words. It wasn't long until Naruto was yelling at him, hey! Wait! Kakashi pulled his wife towards him and onto his lap. He wrapped her tightly in his arms as she complained. Don't go to work today. Ugh! You're the one who told me to go early so we can spend tomorrow together, Naruto grumbled. Goosebumps rose with each breath Kakashi breathed into her sensitive neck. Besides, you better catch Ba-chan in a good mood before Genma ruins it. When Kakashi looked up at her to explain, she said, Genma works Thursdays with Ba-chan in the mission room. It's a war zone by the afternoon that everybody is too scared to hand in their mission report. I can't believe the balls on that guy. Seriously. He flirts with even the Hokage. Kakashi was well aware of Genma's habits and shook his head. Ba-chan likes it but she doesn't like his neediness. Naruto removed Kakashi's arms from around her. Looking around the disorganized cabinets in her kitchen, Naruto returned victorious to Kakashi and presented him with a key. Stop picking my locks and use this please. Kakashi took the key and told Naruto before she left, I'll be over before noon. I won't be late. Naruto paused, holding her bento in hand as she looked over her shoulder at her husband. You'll never be late for me. Unless I'm dying. Never. Kakashi nodded and was greeted with a brilliant smile that made him lose his breath. As soon as she left, Kakashi felt the emptiness seep in and clenched his fist around the house key. I can't believe I'm doing this, he sighed, but if he wanted to meet Naruto early he'd need help moving his stuff. It'd be the first time Kakashi would find himself looking to Guy. Naruto. What the? Watch yourself. Jiraiya yelled when Naruto came barreling into the room. He quickly lowered his tone when he saw the ashen panic on her face. You're safe here, kid. No one's allowed within these walls without Tsunade's permission. Her eyes looked bloodshot when she finally looked at him. Naruto swallowed a harsh breath, running her fingers through her mangled hair. I must have been hallucinating. Naruto, Jiraiya said sternly, tell me. What happened on your way here? Naruto wanted to deny it. She wanted to pretend she didn't see anything. Naruto found it hard to even whisper her words to Jiraiya, I think Sasuke's in Konoha. Jiraiya stiffened. With a subtle signal, several small shadows that lingered on the wall disappeared. I'm sure it must have been someone similar. There is that Sai boy that looks like Sasuke. Naruto nodded, wanting to agree with his words. You're right. I'm just overthinking things. You know how edge I've been these past few weeks. Jiraiya agreed. Here, distract yourself. I'm going to secure the perimeter. Why you're? Naruto sighed when Jiraiya placed her in front of the paperwork. You're the absolute devil, you know. You don't know jack shit on how to comfort someone. Jiraiya left, giving her the peace sign before disappearing. Naruto sighed, before summoning enough clones to make Tsunade jealous to help her with the paperwork. Jiraiya soon found himself in a dark alleyway. He could feel the shadows move around him. Has he returned? No, Master Jiraiya. The shadows whispered back, no traces of the Uchiha. Is it possible there is a hole in the defenses? No, Master Jiraiya, the shadow replied, we traced her path and found that Sai had crossed her path. Jiraiya sighed. It was a false alarm. Dismissing the shadows to return to their spots, Jiraiya patrolled the area on his own. Feeling and looking for anything out of the ordinary. If he had it his way, Jiraiya would have hunted down Sasuke and thrown him in prison. Trap that boy up, and although unethical, Use him as a breeding machine if that meant the council would retract their stance on his favorite blonde. Once he secured the perimeter for himself, Jiraiya found himself wandering around the abandoned Uchiha district. It's a shame all this land is going to waste. He walked through the fenced community, looking at the derelict shops and homes. It was like a village within a village. Not even the Hyuga compound was so isolated. There were many thoughts running through his head and his gut was churning. He was never interested in the Uchiha massacre, but now the district caught his curiosity. Gesturing to the shadows that followed him, they knew by his signal to gather information about the Uchiha clan and to find anything worthwhile. His gut was telling him this was the right decision. Let's hope I find something dirty to keep that brat in place. Turning on his heels, he made his way back to Naruto. No doubt she was long distracted in her piles of paperwork that she would most likely fight him when he got back. Jiraiya chuckled, imagining her skittish kitten appearance as she would attempt to maim him. It'll be a good workout. Talking to yourself is a sign of madness. Jiraiya didn't stop walking as a presence joined him. I was wondering how long it'd take you to push yourself into the restricted section. Honestly, you're a bit slower than I thought. Kakashi had joined him, a head shorter than himself. Jiraiya glanced over at the young man and noticed the signs of his anxieties. He had seen it before with Kakashi's father, in the early weeks of his marriage to Kakashi's mother. Separation anxiety got you good, huh? Kakashi laughed weakly. It's more intense than what I was told. I might just go mad and enjoy it. If you went mad, I wouldn't stop you. Jiraiya tried to lighten the mood, though he knew the boy was still tense. What's got you thinking? Kakashi felt like his nerve were on fire. I want to be with her all the time. I don't want Naruto looking at anybody else but me. I might just kill the next person she looks at. Oh, Jiraiya was stumped. It was really bad, but surprisingly I was expecting this. What do you mean? Kakashi stopped, making the Jiraiya stop too. They moved to the side of the road to have a quieter conversation. Well, think about it for a minute. The Hatake clan has always been associated with canines like the Inuzuka. Naruto is associated with the Kyubi by being a Jinchuriki. Two people bonding together with animals as their basis is bound to cause a stir somewhere. When Naruto told me she wanted to approach you before leaving, part of me was shocked but another part of me expected her to reach out to you. You two were always weird with one another. We're not weird, Kakashi refuted. You're right. You're the weird one, Jiraiya corrected, grinning when Kakashi looked visibly annoyed. For someone with one of the best observation points in Konoha, you sure are blind. Naruto's always looked up at you. I'm aware, sure, but when did the change happen from admiration to admiration? Kakashi sighed. He understood what Jiraiya was saying but didn't want to make a comment. Mostly because he wasn't sure when. Let's go. He gestured for Kakashi to start following him again. I should let you know though, Naruto had a scare this morning thinking she saw Sasuke. Kakashi growled, that's probably my fault. I talked about him this morning in Danzo. I have a few eyes on that old rag, Jiraiya scoffed. So far no movements, but then again he's always had a backup plan to his backup plan. I've placed a few tails on each of the council members. They would believe you're ready for a coup if they found out. Hey, you said it yourself, you want to kill whoever Naruto looks at next. This is my version, Jiraiya shrugged his shoulders. Acting like it was nothing that he was spying on the major shinobi families of Konoha. It could be considered treason. Jiraiya knew Kakashi wouldn't tell anyone. The man was loyal to Konoha but was more loyal to certain people. I'm sure Tsunade has her version too. I bet she'll go mad before you do when it comes to our blonde. Jiraiya led Kakashi through the Hokage monument. He noticed the closer they got to Naruto the more relaxed Kakashi seemed. Jiraiya opened the sealed door, and just as he predicted, Naruto came flying at him in a fury. Jiraiya was quick to pull Kakashi in front of him as the man, in a panic, tried juggling Naruto to keep her in his arms rather than attack her mentor. You're too slow, brat, Jiraiya teased. You filthy bastard. Naruto was furious, yet her clones silently worked through the piles of paperwork. You messed up my order and rearranged my findings. You had some excellent findings. What sort of mentor would I be if I didn't triple check your work? A terrible one, that's for sure. Jiraiya was full of sarcasm, waving outside the door to leave Kakashi to clean up his mess. Have fun, my cute newlyweds. Jiraiya. Naruto roared, trying to climb over Kakashi's shoulder, but he held firm. Let me go, Kakashi. I just need to hit him once. Just one really good one. Kakashi wasn't listening, only holding her tighter in his arms as he took in her scent. Wife. Naruto settled almost instantly, feeling Kakashi's chest vibrate along her thighs. She tried to climb out of her arms, but he held her firmly in his arms and she sat above him. It felt odd for Naruto to stare down at him. Holding his cheeks firmly, she looked into his eyes and grinned, "You're on time." For you, always, Kakashi felt at ease as she held his face. Today was so difficult. I believe I deserve a gift for my patience. Naruto arched a brow. We weren't apart for that long. It was shorter than yesterday. I was with Guy this morning. Naruto laughed, bringing her face down to place a caste kiss on Kakashi's masked face. She pulled away quickly when she felt Kakashi try for a firmer kiss. She tapped his lips playfully. I still have work to do. Ero Sennin messed up my work, so I'm behind a bit. I can help you. You can help by sitting and not touching anything. Naruto managed to wriggle out of his arms. Her clones were still working hard and she wasn't embarrassed about being seen from other angles of her time with Kakashi. Approaching her desk, Naruto felt Kakashi on her back as he followed her. Looking over her shoulder, she noticed that Kakashi was content with following her. Taking a seat, her husband stood at her side quietly. Can I get you a chair? This is nothing, Kakashi reassured the blonde. Glad that she voiced her concerns about him. Okay. Let me know when you need a break. There are a couple of Anbu stationed outside if you want to rotate with them. Kakashi narrowed his eyes. How did you know? How did I know what? Naruto was calm, sorting through her paperwork and making a few notes here and there. My wife is a little trickster. Kakashi chuckled lightly. He was impressed with her deduction skill and the sleight of words she possessed. I'm curious. How do you know I rejoined Anbu? Well, Naruto felt her lips curl. Their light banter was fun and a nice change of pace to her workplace. From what I know, only 3 types of people are allowed in this area. The current Hokage, the spy master and the Anbu who guard the premises. You're not Ba-chan and I'm confirmed to be Ero Sennin's successor. You fit into the Anbu category. Ba-chan wouldn't let you back here otherwise. Unless you want to enjoy prison for the rest of your life. Looking over her shoulder, she caught her husband's gaze. You didn't have to rejoin Anbu for something like this. This isn't something trivial, Kakashi replied, his arm where his fresh Anbu mark lay throbbed as a reminder of his past. However, this time it was different. I'm protecting my family. His fingers reached out, moving a loose strand of her blonde hair behind her ear. This is where I should be. Not in another village running errands. Naruto's heart fluttered. Looking away from him, Naruto returned to her paperwork to distract herself. A comfortable silence settled over the room. Even with the clones, occasional grumble and the original sighing every now and then, the atmosphere felt relaxed as Kakashi stood vigilantly behind the original. Even with dozens of copies of his wife, Kakashi wasn't distracted. His main priority was watching over the original and he planned to keep it that way. A few hours passed like this. Kakashi kept a close eye on his wife. He could feel the subtle change in his wife over the house and knew she was reaching her limit. Leaning closer to her, Kakashi held her hand to stop her pen from moving, and whispered, "It's time to go home." Goosebumps appeared up Naruto's arm. I still have a few more things to do. They can be done later. You've done enough work between yourself and your clones. Observing his wife, Kakashi found that her work was highly important to Konoha. Any slip in security could potentially bring the downfall to the village. Kakashi didn't understand. The council was willing to overlook Naruto's contribution to the prosperity of the village for a dojutsu. It was madness. Let's go home. With her concentration broken, Naruto could feel the fatigue start to settle in. She put her pen down and looked around at her clones. Once they were dispersed, Naruto knew she would be exhausted. Nodding to the groups, they all dispelled in intervals as she sat back, closed her eyes, and processed the information. Silently, Kakashi pulled Naruto in his lap and sat in her chair. He held her firmly and watched as with each dispel the weariness appear on her face. The amount of mental fatigue couldn't be covered by Kyubi's interference. When she took a deep breath as the last batch disappeared, Kakashi gently rocked her. Seeing this side of her was shocking. How long have you been working like this? His wife was too exhausted to answer his, but he read her lips. Months. Naruto, he hissed, gently scolding her as her breathing grew heavy. Oi, don't fall asleep now. We need to talk about your work habits. They're not healthy. Naruto, dazed, looked up at Kakashi. Hypocrite, her stamina was at an all-time low. What about you? You work like a dead man. A shinobi without purpose. Taking in a deep breath, she rested her head against Kakashi's shoulder. Kakashi kept quiet. She was right. Before Naruto barged in on his day off, he spent every waking hour doing missions after missions. The harder, the longer, the better. The only reason he hadn't joined Anbu sooner and taken on more dangerous missions was the regular team dinners. If he missed one too many, then there would be questions and his comrades would pin him in place until he talked. I have a question for you. Why do you work this way? It's not sustainable in the long run. I know, Naruto wasn't as stupid as her friends made her out to be. Looking at her husband, Naruto felt safe, to be honest. She always felt safe with Kakashi. I know it's bad, but nobody stopped me. They see me working my off for this village that it's become my normal. Nobody will step in to stop me from overworking. Reaching up, she cupped his face. The concern was so prominent in his eye, just like how no one will step in to stop you from constant back-to-back mission. Allowing you to go out while you run on fumes with the bare medical assistance when you come back half dead. Kakashi's laugh was bitter as he held her hand with his, pressing his face firmly against her palm. How long have you been watching me? Long enough. Naruto felt her stamina start to come back, but she didn't want to move from his lap. There were many layers as to why I approached you for marriage. It wasn't spurred of the moment. I thought long and hard. Naruto groaned when Kakashi placed his forehead on hers. She wasn't expecting this action. You can't be serious. Naruto laughed nervously, shuffling uncomfortably in her seat. Tsunade and Jiraiya were sitting opposite her in her small dining area. Please, her voice was desperate, please, I need you to tell me this is a bad joke. She leaned over the table. They were silent and looked at her with worry. Tell me. She screamed, feeling the hysterics kick in. I'm so sorry, Naruto, Tsunade said softly. Reaching into her pocket, she produced a small piece of paper and slid it across the table. I did everything I could to intercept the letter. Reaching over with trembling fingers, Naruto opened the papers and immediately she burst into tears. No, 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 no. I can't do this, Ba-chan. I can't. She cried. Anyone but him. Please, Ba-chan, anyone but Sasuke. She dropped the paper like it was cursed. Pounding on her chest in frustration. Why? Why would they do this to me when I've given the village everything? We will get through this. Tsunade spoke for both her and Jiraiya. It had taken all of her mental strength to calm him down before they approached Naruto. There's always a hole somewhere. We just have to find it. I'll do everything within my power to stop Sasuke from having you. Ba-chan, Naruto sniffled, feeling her chest tighten. Part of her knew why the council easily accepted Sasuke's proposal. Most of them still had old mindsets. Keeping a Kekkei Genkai within Konoha and keeping the Kyubi contained and controlled. The Sharingan would provide the village with both. How long do I have? At least 2 months. Perhaps even less, Tsunade sighed, rubbing her throbbing temples. Naruto felt resolve firmly in her heart. Drying her tears, she looked Tsunade dead in the eyes. If there's nothing, no loophole, I will leave. Leave. This time Jiraiya spoke. Naruto nodded. I'll leave the village. Naruto Uzumaki. Tsunade slammed her hand on the table and stood up. Are you crazy? The council will never give up their Jinchuriki. You will always be hunted, she hissed. I wouldn't put it past them to label you a missing nin. You will never know peace. Naruto laughed bitterly, yet they never labeled Sasuke as one. I would rather die than be stuck to Sasuke. I'll do it myself if I'm forced to marry him. Tsunade felt her heartache. The younger blonde was serious. Her eyes looked at the necklace that hung around her neck. I forbid you from killing yourself. Run away if you must, but until then I don't want to hear you giving up, she ordered. Taking her nod as confirmation, Tsunade stood and left the apartment. This left Jiraiya and Naruto alone. Running away, Naruto. Really? Jiraiya tried to lighten the mood, but they were both miserable. If you leave, you'll have to cut contact with even me. Naruto's breathing shuddered. I'm willing to do that. She laced her fingers and squeezed tightly. I won't be alone. I have Kurama with me. Jiraiya frowned. He was the only one, besides Naruto, who knew the name of the Kyubi. She had let it slip during their training period. Naruto was fiercely devoted and possessive over her prisoner. Jiraiya found their relationship odd, but the Kyubi never gave any signs they meant hard to Naruto. In fact, it seemed the Kyubi was equally as obsessed with the blonde. Jiraiya considered Kyubi like a stubborn parasite. You don't have much time. 2 months can disappear in a snap. Not only was Naruto busy with her spy master apprenticeship, Jiraiya still trained her on the side. He wasn't sure how they were going to find a loophole with their limited time. I can do it, Naruto nodded confidently. Naruto and Jiraiya discussed rescheduling their busy days. Once Naruto escorted Jiraiya to her front door, she could feel Kurama reacting within her. He wanted to speak with her. Moving to her bed, Naruto sat in the lotus position, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath. Opening her eyes, Naruto found herself within her mindscape. It was bright with Kurama sitting freely nearby. However, her eyes picked up the collar around his neck. She had changed his cage into something less restricting once they gained each other's trust. You called. Naruto approached Kurama, allowing her body to fall into the pile of fur and sighed in comfort. Marriage, huh? Kurama didn't say much, but his tone suggested more. Your stress is overwhelming me. Go get laid. It's been a while. Kurama. Naruto groaned into his coat. This is serious. It will never happen. I never gave permission for that Uchiha brat to be yours. They can force a bond and I will kill them all. His growl was deep and menacing. Unconsciously, one of his tails laid protectively over his ward. Have though. There are cobwebs gathering in here. You haven't had fun since you returned. Naruto ignored Kurama. It was the same comment each time. She was too busy to even relieve herself. Let alone find a partner. I'll take us both out when the time comes. Kurama huffed, yet he never said anything. He was willing to go down with his host. Figure it out soon. Don't let 2 months be your end goal. Find a solution now. In 2 weeks. Geez, you're worse than Ero Sennin, Naruto replied, but she understood Kurama's unspoken concerns. She didn't have much time and had to act now. Let me cry a little bit more and then I'll get back to work. Fine. Kurama agreed before commenting, why not jump Kakashi Hatake and ride him all night long? He has strong thighs to keep up with your stamina. Kurama. Flashback end. Naruto recalled that bitter memory as she observed Kakashi sleeping. She was bundled tightly in his arms. It was an odd feeling waking up next to somebody that wasn't mission-related for survival. Naruto always fantasied about waking up next to Kakashi. She felt her cheeks redden. Her fantasies usually included, and she was no stranger to it, but it was different. Naruto had feelings for Kakashi. She wasn't satisfying an itch. It would be different the next time she would have. When they arrived home last night, Kakashi was quick to shuffle her into the bathroom to wash up. He even offered to wash her back, much to her embarrassment. He fed her a warm meal and promptly tucked her into bed with him. Naruto never expected Kakashi to adapt so quickly. Pulling out a hand, Naruto couldn't resist tracing his firm jaw. Every time she saw his bare face, she felt blessed. Her fingers soon touched the beauty spot below his lip and pressed on it gently. Naruto gasped when Kakashi nipped her finger and retracted her hand. "How long have you been awake?" she whispered, seeing him smile before his gray eye opened. "Long enough." Kakashi's voice was hoarse. "Good morning, Naruto." "Good." Naruto was quickly silenced when Kakashi placed a firm kiss on her lips. With her hands on his chest, Naruto pushed him away and covered her mouth shyly. "I have bad breath." Kakashi chuckled, feeling at ease that his wife only rejected his kiss due to bad breath. "Then you're saying I can kiss you afterward?" Kakashi swallowed hard when Naruto's leg was nudged between his thighs and she nodded shyly. After I've brushed my teeth." Naruto wouldn't pass up the opportunity to be kissed by Kakashi. Except when they were in a compromising position. "I need to use the bathroom," she muttered, waiting until she felt Kakashi's arms slacken before removing herself from the bed. Getting up off the futon, Naruto shook her head as she saw Kakashi's futon perfectly untouched. "You need to sleep in your own bed tonight. Mama, I know you enjoy sharing the same bed too." Naruto rolled her eyes and left for the washroom. Once she locked the door behind her, Naruto whispered and growled at Kurama, "Knock it off." She could feel her throbbing. Reaching into her pants, Naruto groaned to find that her fingers were soaked with her juices. "You need to get laid. You're still stressed," Kurama's voice teased. "You have not mated your husband. You're worse than your mother." "Shut up," she hissed, turning on the shower and tossing her sleep clothes on the floor. Picking up her soaked underwear, Naruto furiously washed them in the basin before tossing them into her dirty laundry. She didn't need Kakashi knowing she was lusting after his body, and Kurama was amplifying her feelings. Getting under the hot water, Naruto's body felt sensitive to the heat. She was horny. Sliding her fingers between her legs and between the folds of her, Naruto shuddered as her fingers glided over her. "Ha!" She bit her lip, trying to get the nose to a minimum as she closed her eyes and imagined herself kneeling between his thick thighs as he sat arrogantly on the sofa. They never broke eye contact as he warned her with his eyes she was playing a dangerous game. Naruto imagined there was someone else in the room. If they took a few steps around the corner, they would see her unzipping Kakashi's pants with her teeth. Naruto's hot body shuddered as pleasure overwhelmed her. The stranger would see her teasing Kakashi, taking him deep within her throat, humming and drooling like as she tasted his precum. "Oh Kami!" Her imagination ran wild with Kakashi gripping her hair firmly, controlling her pace as he ate her throat. The stranger was speaking to another. The two of them could hear their conversation and could be caught at any moment, yet Naruto was focused on driving Kakashi over the edge. Naruto would almost feel it. Feel how hard and thick Kakashi would be in her throat. Naruto's fingers moved rhythmically as her hips rocked back and forth. Her fluids mixed with the water as she imagined Kakashi coating the back of her throat with his hot cum, yet she refused to stop tasting him. She wanted every last drop he had to offer. Naruto could imagine him growling her name, begging her to stop. Naruto could feel herself reaching her climax and clamped down a scream as her legs gave way. Naruto opened her eyes slowly, panting heavily as she returned from her delusions. She wanted it. She wanted Kakashi so badly. However, Naruto couldn't bring herself to initiate further intimacy. Although they were married, once they crossed that line there was no going back. It would be forever. Naruto was worried she would get addicted to Kakashi and never let him go too far from her. Stupid brat. Naruto chuckled, getting up slowly and finishing washing up. Realizing she never brought clothes into the bathroom, Naruto peeked outside the door and could sense Kakashi in the kitchen. Opening the door all the way, towel tightly wrapped around her, Naruto tried to sneak back to her room when Kakashi called out to her and caused her to yell when he appeared around the corner. "Don't look." Holding a dishcloth in his hands, Kakashi froze when he rounded the corner and saw Naruto dripping wet with a small towel wrapped around her frame. It barely covered her thighs. Swallowing thickly, Kakashi replied, "Too late. I'm wondering what you'd like for breakfast." Kakashi approached her slowly, a gentle smile on his face. However, his thoughts were far from innocent. "I'll be making breakfast. I said I would when I proposed to you." Naruto quickly rushed into the room before Kakashi could get closer. Closing the door behind her, she yelled, "Go wash up and breakfast should be ready when you're done." "Okay," Kakashi yelled back, clicking his tongue at a missed opportunity. Returned to the kitchen, he hung the dishcloth up before heading to the bathroom. Closing the door behind him, Kakashi took a deep breath in and felt his chest rumble. His pupils narrowed as he felt his pants tighten. He could smell it. He could smell Naruto's passion. Her desire. Kakashi moaned, "She doesn't make this easy." Turning the shower on, he stripped his clothes and moved them to the dirty hamper when his mind clicked. Curiously, Kakashi searched through the basket and found Naruto's wet underwear and chuckled. She tried cleaning her scent away. He was tempted to bring it to his nose and devour whatever scent was left, but painfully put them back and placed his dirty clothes on top. Kakashi knew once he indulged in that thought he wouldn't let Naruto leave the room for a few days. Kakashi changed his mind and turned the water to cold. It would be best to numb his instincts. Once cleaning up and getting changed into comfortable loose clothing, he returned to Naruto's side just as she was setting the table. "Smells good. If you're lying, I'm going to be mad," Naruto joked as she placed a grilled fish before Kakashi. "I'll grab the miso soup and we can start." Before she could grab the soup, Kakashi grabbed her wrist and looked at her. "What?" She arched a brow, but he kept staring at her. Sighing, Naruto leaned down and placed a kiss on his waiting lips. She could feel him smiling against her lips as he kissed her back. Pulling back, the glow in his eyes made her snort, happy. Kakashi hummed, releasing her arms so she could grab the rest of breakfast. Once she sat down, they both blessed the food and Kakashi waited for her to take the first bite before starting. "Any plans for today?" "I was hoping to go furniture shopping and get the beds ordered." "Beds?" Kakashi frowned. "We can share a bed. We've shared a bed for the past 2 nights. I want my own bed." Kakashi. Naruto was firm. "I'm not happy about this arrangement." Kakashi was honest. He wanted to share a bed with Naruto. "Can I suggest a compromise?" When she nodded, Kakashi continued, "After our honeymoon, if you still want to sleep in separate beds, then I will agree until you're ready to share a bed. You can order the beds. It'll be good for guests." Naruto felt her jaw drop. "Fine, but on one condition." Kakashi nodded as he ate a piece of grilled fish. "Sleep in your own food and while we're living here." "Naruto." Kakashi sighed, "You enjoy hurting me, don't you?" Naruto laughed. "A little bit." "Deal. What happens if I find myself in your bed in the morning?" "Then the deal is off." Naruto shrugged her shoulders. Kakashi already found a few loopholes in her deal, but he reached out to shake on it. He grinned when Naruto shook his hand and used that held hand to pull her into his lap. "Kakashi." Naruto hissed, tumbling into his chest. "Cut it out. I have to find other ways to touch my wife since she cruelly kicked me out of her bed." Kakashi's voice was solemn, yet his happy face told another story. Picking up some rice and fish, Kakashi felt it up to Naruto's pretty lips. "I can feed myself," she grumbled, yet when Kakashi didn't let up, she opened her mouth. "Good girl," Kakashi hummed, making Naruto stiffen on his lap. Smelling blood, Kakashi looked up to see his wife embarrassed as she tried to cover her bleeding nose. His nose flared again. He could smell her desire for him. Holding back his raging emotions, Kakashi picked up another spoonful of food and held it up to her. "Have another bite." Naruto glared at Kakashi. Wiping her bleeding nose with the sleeve of her shirt, she opened her mouth for another bite. Chewing her food slowly, Kakashi finished his miso soup before giving her another piece to eat. They sat in tense silence as Kakashi fed himself and Naruto. The tight grip he had on her hip kept Naruto from getting off. By the end of breakfast, Naruto had her face buried in her couch in embarrassment as Kakashi cleaned up. It wasn't that bad, Kakashi called out. Shut it. Her yell was muffled by the cushions. Naruto knew she couldn't hide on the couch forever, yet she was too ashamed to bring her head out. Soon, Naruto felt the weight of her husband on her back as he held her gently. For someone who stormed my place crying for my hand in marriage, you decide this is the time to be shy, Kakashi chuckled, finding her behavior endearing. Come out. I promise I'll be on my best behavior. He could hear her grumbling into the couch. It seemed like she didn't want to turn around yet. I was hoping to take you out on a date. It'll be our first day. Naruto whipped her head around to look at Kakashi. You're a weird one, you know. You talked about having kids before figuring out where we're going to live, and now you want to date me after kissing me and sleeping in my bed. I'm sure this isn't how dating works. We're an unconventional couple. Kakashi shrugged. I don't think we'll ever be a normal couple. Is that a bad thing? Only if you want to see it that way, Kakashi reassured the worried blonde. I won't ever let you think that way. You're too serious. Of course. I have to be serious about my family, Kakashi was honest. Naruto was his family now. You're the one person I can't treat as something trivial. Asuma and Shikamaru. It's been quiet lately, Asuma commented. He was walking through the park with his student. His skin warmed under the sun as he leisurely looked around his surroundings. Everyone was smiling as they went about their day. Don't jinx it, sensei, Shikamaru sighed. We have a mission tomorrow. I'd like for it to finish smoothly. He noticed a few couples and families having picnics. Looking at the sky, it is certainly the weather for it. Asuma, picking up on Shikamaru's thoughts, pointed to an ice cream stand and suggested, we can have our own little picnic. Wouldn't you rather be on a picnic with Kurenai-sensei? Yet Shikamaru didn't turn down the offer for ice cream. Asuma shrugged his shoulders. Picnics aren't her thing. Shikamaru was surprised. Don't women usually love this sort of thing? I've tried it once. I won't try it again. At least, not with Kurenai, Asuma chuckled, ordering himself and Shikamaru double scoop cones. I'll have chocolate. Vanilla for the kid. Oi, Shikamaru warned with a teasing tone, taking his ice cream before continuing their walk. So, Asuma spoke up after finishing one of his scoops. I heard you managed to track Naruto down. Shikamaru sighed. His sensei was a hound for gossip. I didn't want to hear my mum nag for another night. It's been sorted. You're no fun, Asuma hummed with a teasing grin. Shikamaru only glared at him. Then you're aware of her relationship with Kakashi. Shikamaru scowled. He didn't want to be caught up in Asuma's gossiping circle, however Shikamaru was nosy. How did you know before me? Asuma replied. They were all over each other. Hugging in public in front of everyone. It wasn't hard to miss. I'm surprised word hasn't hit the girls yet. I'm sure once they know they'd swarm Naruto for details. I highly doubt Naruto would let any personal details of her life let loose so easily. Hell, only Choji and I know where she lives in our friend group. Shikamaru placed bets that Naruto was closely monitoring the gossip pools and keeping her details on a tight leash. If you truly sat anyone down and asked for personal detailed questions about Naruto that wasn't already public, they wouldn't know a thing. Asuma was inclined to believe Shikamaru. Whenever Naruto asked him to stomp out gossip, Asuma would do it without a second question. Finishing his cone, Asuma spotted a bin up ahead for his napkin. Tossing his dirty napkin away, Asuma turned around and froze. Oi, you're in my way, Shikamaru mumbled, pushing Asuma aside to put his napkin in the bin too. Seeing that Asuma was still frozen, Shikamaru followed his line of sight and felt his jaw drop. Not too far away from them, partially hidden behind a tree, they saw Kakashi passionately kissing Naruto. His face bare for them to see as one of his hands cupped Naruto's cheek. There was a gentleness in his touch as his other hand was holding onto their picnic basket. Naruto was clinging to Kakashi's chest with trembling arms as she gasped for air between kisses. However, Kakashi never gave her much time to come to her senses before coming back for more and shoving his tongue down her throat. The wet sounds coming from their mouths could be heard by Asuma and Shikamaru. They blushed in embarrassment. It was Asuma who broke up the couple's moment by coughing into her hand. Naruto's eyes widened when she saw them and quickly shoved Kakashi away from her and sent him flying into the bush as she covered her face. She was red in shame. Oh my god, oh my god. How long were you standing there? She squealed, squatting down as her body heated up with embarrassment. Don't worry, Kakashi's voice could be heard from the bushes. He slowly made his appearance, with his mask back in place and holding up the basket. The food and drinks are still safe. Approaching his shy wife, Kakashi greeted Asuma and Shikamaru with a simple, yo, before kneeling beside the blonde to coax her out of her shell. I told you to stop doing this in public, Naruto hissed, glaring at Kakashi, yet he didn't seem the least bit concerned. Asuma coughed again. Fancy seeing you two here. It was an awkward start, but Asuma never expected their fake relationship to have intimacy to it. Asuma knew he joked with Naruto about making out with Kakashi, but seeing it was different from teasing her about it. Sorry to interrupt your date. Kakashi managed to get Naruto standing back up and linked his fingers with her. Naruto looked away from him, but Kakashi saw her red ears and was in a good mood. Ma, it happens. We just happened to get a little bit too excited. His eye moved to Shikamaru. The shock was still on his face, but Kakashi could also see anger. It was aimed toward him. It was only a matter of when Shikamaru would come to him. He gave Shikamaru a nod, letting him know that Kakashi would be waiting. We'll be on our way. Keep this between us, Kakashi said casually as he pulled Naruto along with him deeper into the bushes to a more private area of the park. It was hard for Naruto to make eye contact with Asuma and Shikamaru, but she still waved goodbye to them. Once they were further away from the duo, Naruto elbowed Kakashi's ribs hard. Ow, Kakashi grumbled, releasing Naruto's hand to rub his stinging side. What was that for? You know why, Naruto grumbled. I told you we were going to get caught. You enjoyed it, wife. Kakashi hummed, placing down the basket as his wife was unaware of his approach as he ranted. Kakashi was quick, picking her up by her thighs and pushing her against the nearest tree as she groaned. His mask was already gone as he teased her sensitive lips with his breath. You enjoy kissing me. He licked her lips gently, making her gasp and her scent flooding his nose. You enjoy me, Kakashi could see it in her eyes. She wanted him. You enjoy who I am. So, kiss me. What? Naruto was shocked. Kiss me. Do it by yourself. He arched a brow, challenging her to his taunt as his fingers dug into her firm thighs. Just this action alone was enough to make Naruto shudder in his arms. Kakashi growled when Naruto tugged on his hair. Naruto took that as encouragement and nervously brought her lips to Kakashi's lips. Her kiss was different from Kakashi's passionate touch. Naruto was gentle, taking her lip to feel Kakashi's lips on her own and feel the softness press against her own. It was slow and painfully passionate that Kakashi had to grip the tree to regain his sanity. They both ignored that Kakashi's hand tore into the tree as he matched her pace. With each kiss, their breathing grew heavier and Naruto's legs squeezed Kakashi tighter as her fingers racked through his hair. Their tongues never entered one another. Instead, they would gently lick each other's lips, with Naruto ing and nibbling on Kakashi's lower lip every now and then. Each time she did, Naruto could feel Kakashi tense up with a throaty moan. Kakashi hissed, pulling himself closer to Naruto and burying his face into her neck. If they continued for a second longer, Kakashi wouldn't be able to control himself and take his wife against the tree. He wouldn't give a damn if his wife cried out loudly as he ate her cunt, raw, drawing attention to others. They could watch for all they cared. They could watch as he claimed his wife. We have to stop here, he heard her mewl in protest and nipped her neck. With purpose, he ground his hips against her, making her gasp. No doubt she would feel his hardness. Bringing himself out of his wife's neck, Kakashi looked at her and held her face in his hands. He whispered, I want you, Naruto. More than anything, he saw her lips tremble, but not here. My wish, should my wife grant it, is to have our first time making love in a bed. After that, Kakashi couldn't hide his feral grin, anywhere is fair game. Naruto quickly covered her nose as blood soon spilled. Her underwear was uncomfortable due to her wetness. Naruto would have told Kakashi to take her right now, but she saw the determination in his eyes and nodded. You weren't lying when you said you would seduce me. Kakashi laughed, feeling himself calm down as he released Naruto. No, and I don't have any plans to stop until I die. Picking up the basket, he held his hand towards Naruto and said, no more funny business, I promise. Let's have our date. Naruto hummed, grabbing Kakashi's hand. Until when is the promise valid? Ah, you caught me. Kakashi guided Naruto through the park, either when we finish eating or until we get home. I'll decide in 5 minutes. Naruto laughed, but soon it turned into awe as Kakashi led them to a small but bountiful flower field. The flowers were soft in color and the scent gentle and lovely. How did you find this place? She looked around and the flowers were untouched by people. Kakashi set up the picnic blanket on the perimeter of the flower field and said, I used to come here with my mother. I stopped coming when she died but started back up when I left Anbu. This place saved me a lot whenever I had to run away from Guy. Naruto snorted, sitting on the blanket and helping Kakashi unpack the food. Her eyes kept wandering back to the field, taking in the beautiful scenery. Looking back at Kakashi, her heart melted when he handed her a glass of sparkling wine. It was a pretty pink color, and when Naruto took a sip she gasped, it's sweet. I figured you'd enjoy a sweeter wine than dry, Kakashi replied. They sat in comfortable silence, watching the flowers sway in the light breeze when Naruto spoke up. I've admired you for a long time, Kakashi. Mama, I'm well aware now. I'm not sure when my admiration turned into affection for you, Naruto confessed. I had no plans on approaching you before this happened. I didn't want to make you uncomfortable, especially since you've had a position of power over me as my sensei and senpai. I know you would have been happy to grow old alone or even gotten married at an older age once you found someone that didn't annoy you. Naruto looked at Kakashi. I like you, Kakashi. As a sensei, a senpai, a friend, and as a husband so far. I also want to consummate this marriage. She could feel her ears heat up, yet she faced Kakashi bravely. He was looking at her, giving her all his attention, yet his gaze made Naruto's body heat up. I can see myself falling in love with you. I don't know when. Kakashi emptied his glass, putting it down safely before replying, you don't make this easy for me, wife. His chest was rumbling, yet he stayed in his spot. I desire for you, Naruto. I see you and only you by my side. Thank you for telling me about your heart. He reached out and cupped her cheek, swallowing hard when she nuzzled into his hand. Her eyes dazzled him as she looked at him with complete trust. Her trust in him was astronomical. She had chosen him. His heart felt full, however, what came out of his mouth only made her laugh. I bet I will fall for you harder. I'm halfway there. Kakashi pulled a blanket over the sleeping Naruto. She had promptly fallen asleep on the couch after dinner, and Kakashi considered their date successful. Sitting beside her, he stroked her hair and watched as she slept. No doubt his wife was exhausted after teasing her the entire day. She was playful with him and returned his energy. Although she was still shy about their relationship, Kakashi found that she was more than happy to try these new experiences with him. He wanted to deny it for a while, but she was ally active just like him. Part of him was jealous of the people that shared that intimacy with his wife, but Kakashi quickly got over that jealousy when he noticed how sweaty her hands would get when they held her, how quickly her heart raced whenever he hugged her, and the way her breathing changed with each kiss. Kakashi knew this was her first serious relationship, and he would engrave each new experience she had into his heart. They were his. Naruto. Her name left his lips, leaning down to kiss her temple. Feeling a smile on his lips, Kakashi pulled up his mask before opening the nearby window. You can come in now. She's fast asleep. The shadows quickly revealed a disgruntled Shikamaru as he stepped through the window. His eyes quickly moved to Naruto and checked she was okay before looking at Kakashi. I can't believe she chose you, Kakashi growled, but I'm not surprised. I'm glad you ended up with Naruto, Shikamaru sighed, rubbing his throbbing head. Kakashi coughed in embarrassment. Take a seat. I'll make some tea. He gestured to the dining table as he got the tea and some snacks ready. He kept quiet and waited for Shikamaru to start the conversation. It wasn't until he returned to the table with refreshments that Shikamaru spoke up. Sasuke is dangerous, Shikamaru spoke. I am aware. No, not like that. I'm sure Naruto hasn't told you all of it, Shikamaru warned. After the second round of the Chunin exams, Sasuke changed. That's when his obsession with Naruto started. No one noticed the changes. Kakashi felt dread, except you two. Shikamaru nodded. I'm sure you're aware of our relationship. The Nara clan love Naruto like one of their own. Hey, he snorted, Ka-chan won't be happy to know her pseudo-daughter got married in secret. You better have another ceremony planned, he gave Kakashi a pointed look. You'll be surprised how many people adore Naruto. I've taken care of her followers. That's not what I meant, but that's also good. Shikamaru took a sip of his tea. You might not remember, but when Naruto and Sasuke were still your genin, Sasuke would do whatever he could to be paired with Naruto or get her alone. It must have been a blessing that Sakura was in your genin cell to minimize that. He gave Kakashi a firm look. I have a feeling that Naruto being married to you won't stop Sasuke from trying to get to her. Even if that means killing her. He almost succeeded last time. Kakashi looked at his wife and felt shame in his heart. He wasn't all too interested in his students and only really stepped up once Sasuke left. Kakashi could admit that he missed a lot. That he stood back as an observer. In my opinion, before Sasuke changed, I used to believe they would end up together, Shikamaru confessed shamefully. They suited each other like night and day. Shikamaru, Kakashi warned the Chunin. His eyes flashed dangerously. Choose your next words carefully. Sasuke will return. Shikamaru powered through. He will do anything to have Naruto. I'm sure you will understand once you see him again. Hell, I wouldn't put it past Sakura attacking Naruto out of jealousy once he returns. Naruto is strong. One of the strongest in the village, but, whatever happened in the Forest of Death is something only those two know. Naruto never told you. Shikamaru shook her head. I never push. You could say the curse mark amplified all of Sasuke's emotions. Even his dark obsession with Naruto. However, only those two know the truth. Shikamaru looked to Kakashi, his posture firm. I trust you, Kakashi-sensei. I trust Naruto's decision. I know you'll protect her better than anyone else. But don't think for a second that being married to Naruto won't stop Sasuke or the council. They will find a way. Leave it to me. Kakashi gave Shikamaru confidence. They won't come near her. 4x. You lost the bet, Naruto grumbled, trying to untangle herself from Kakashi's arm. She had fallen asleep on the couch after the mental battle Kakashi put her through yesterday with all his touches and kisses. Waking up, she found Kakashi cuddling her on the couch and grinned victoriously. No, you haven't, wife, Kakashi chuckled. Her confused look made him hold her tighter. His wife looked cute to him. You said if I slept in your futon. I am sleeping on the couch and my wife just happens to be in my arms. You sneaky bastard. Naruto pushed him off the couch onto the floor. I can't believe you. She glared at him as she got up, but there was no trace of guilt on his face. He simply looked pleased with his actions. No, I should believe you. You've always been a sneaky bastard. Naruto. Kakashi propped his head up with his fist, watching as his wife ranted, pack some warm clothes. We're going to the snow. Yuki. Naruto cheered. When do we leave? She didn't give Kakashi the chance as she bolted to her room. Getting up slowly, Kakashi stretched his stiff body before following the blonde. Whenever you want. We can go today, tomorrow, The next day or whenever, he leaned against the doorway. Naruto was shoving all the warm clothes she owned into her duffel bag. Looking excitedly at Kakashi, Naruto asked, "Can we leave tonight? I have to buy a few things." Kakashi nodded. "We can do that. I have a few things to tie up before we go. I'll meet you back here." "Yup." Naruto nodded before looking at him suspiciously. "Will you be okay on your own?" "I'm not a mindless beast," he joked, but Naruto wasn't buying it. She still looked worried. Her worry was for him and it brought joy to Kakashi. "You don't believe in your husband?" "No. I'll find you." Kakashi interrupted her. Folding his arms, he shrugged his shoulders casually. "If anything happens, I'll find you, Naruto. I'm sure you'll know if something happens to me and come save me." Naruto sighed, running her fingers through her hair before pointing at him arrogantly. "Of course, I'll save you, idiot." Kakashi laughed. "There's the Naruto I know. I hope you don't mind that I clean up first, unless," he wiggled his brow suggestively at her. Quickly, Kakashi dodged the projectile that flew towards him and headed into the bathroom. Washing up, Kakashi left the room to find his wife had already left. He could feel the longing grow in his heart, but he wanted their honeymoon to be perfect with the plans he had going. Getting changed, Kakashi's first target was to hunt down Asuma. He found the Sarutobi lighting a smoke at a cafe with Kurenai. "Yo, Kakashi." Kurenai frowned. "How rare of you to find us." "Ma, I'm here for Asuma actually, Kurenai-san," Kakashi hummed. He remembered her behavior the last time they met. Specifically, the way she treated Naruto. "Asuma," Kakashi cooed, clapped his hands together and leaned closer to the uncomfortable man. To Kakashi, it looked like Asuma was trying not to laugh. "I need a favor. I'm sure you'll agree since you saw." Asuma suddenly felt fear. "I don't know what you're talking about." "I saw nothing." He looked away, but Kakashi's face was right next to his. "I know you saw. I need you to wipe that memory from your mind," Kakashi requested kindly, yet his aura was anything but kind. "Kakashi, go away. You're interrupting us," Kurama scolded. "You can't keep causing a mess everywhere you go. I swear all of Team Kakashi are like this." Kakashi ignored her, getting close to Asuma to whisper, "I know you saw how cute my wife was. Lose your memory or die." "Arg, what do you want? Leave me alone." Asuma couldn't take it and started running. Looking over his shoulder, he screamed when Kakashi was running at him with a smile. "What do you want? I'll do anything. Anything." Kakashi grabbed Asuma's shoulder. His face was dangerously close to his friend's. Then, his smile grew wider, yet it scared everyone near them. "Let's purge those shadows once again, Asuma." "What are you on about? We took care of them." Asuma gritted his teeth, trying to hang onto his sanity as Kakashi's aura bore heavily on him. He was taking the full force and brunt of his anger that when Kakashi gripped his shoulder tighter, Asuma swore his bone was close to shattering. "There are more pests. Unlike our friends, you're not afraid to hit women." "What the? Sasuke Uchiha's fan club. We're going to hit them from behind. Are you insane? Your team member is in that club. Hell, Ino still partakes every now and then. You're asking me to jump my student." "The Yamanaka won't keep quiet," Asuma hissed, stunned at Kakashi's dangerous game. "Asuma," Kakashi growled, "Sasuke's coming back for Naruto." He felt Asuma instantly settle. "I will eliminate anything that harms my family." The Shodai Hokage knew the consequences of accepting the Hatake into Konoha. "I'll have your back." Asuma sighed. "I've made a terrible friend. How are we doing this?" "Right now. Full frontal assault. Of course, hopefully without Naruto knowing before our honeymoon." "You bastard. This is one hell of a favor you're asking." "Then why are you smiling, you scary bastard?" Asuma's smile was enough to scare away the surrounding people. "Naruto." Naruto felt her spine tingle and opted to ignore it. "It's probably for the best," she muttered as she left the clothing store. If she wasn't paying attention, Naruto would have bumped into the solid green mass that appeared before her. Looking up, Naruto washed the frown from her face as she said, I wasn't expecting you to find me so quickly, Guy-sensei. Naruto-chan. Guy looked at Naruto. Have you had lunch? As if on cue, Naruto's stomach went off. Ah, Naruto embarrassedly said, I rushed out without breakfast. She eyes Guy's arm curiously when he held it out to her. His reassuring grin let her know she wasn't in trouble. In fact, he took her shopping and swallowed her nerves to accept his arm. Thanks, she mumbled. Guy chuckled. Her nervousness was obvious. Don't worry, Naruto-chan. I am not mad about this arrangement. Kakashi has told me everything. Although I do not approve of how you came to marry, I am not one to be stuck in my ways. Guy led them towards a quiet yakitori stand. Ordering for them both, Guy continued speaking. I believe this marriage will benefit you both in the long run. Especially for Kakashi. Naruto hummed, swallowing her aid before asking, what do you mean by that? You know what I mean. Guy gave Naruto a knowing look, tilting his drink in her direction. Kakashi has always kept people at a distance. You're aware he believes that anybody he holds dear to him dies, Naruto nodded. Although it is not like that anymore, there are moments when Kakashi does go back to that dark time. Quite honestly, I fear what Kakashi would do if he ever lost you. Naruto frowned. She understood where Guy was coming from. She had seen Kakashi during his lowest moments and always watched from the shadows, ensuring he would be okay until he came out again. Whenever she saw Kakashi like that, it was terrifying. I didn't approach Kakashi about marriage without knowing the risks. It wasn't a light-hearted decision. I'm sure it wasn't, Naruto-chan. I've never doubted your decisions. Guy nodded, taking a sip of his aid. Don't ever be afraid of Kakashi, Naruto-chan. It would devastate him the most if you feared him. Guy-sensei, Naruto replied, there is nothing I fear more than a friend disguised as the enemy. Guy's eyes widened before nodding in agreement. That's true. With their meals served, the two fell into a comfortable conversation about their lives and what they were currently up to. Naruto, uncomfortable at first, slowly felt at ease around Guy. Although she still felt uncomfortable having a casual conversation with Kakashi's friend, Naruto tried not to let it bring her down. Guy-sensei, what do you think the reaction of everybody will be? Once they find out, Naruto put down her skewer. I don't want them to accuse Kakashi of power play, and I know they won't be convinced when I say I'm the one who approached Kakashi first. Naruto-chan, can you truly call them friends if that's the reaction you're expecting? Guy asked gently, catching the blonde off guard. You don't have to explain your relationship with Kakashi to anyone, Naruto. You're an adult and so is Kakashi. I'm sure Kakashi will understand keeping your relationship on the low. He might even encourage it. You don't have to overpraise that man, Naruto said lightly, but she appreciated Guy's honest reply. Guy had a mysterious smile. Don't underestimate that man, Naruto-chan. He would do anything for you. He hadn't been jealous of Kakashi for a long time. Years even. However, seeing Naruto looking shy with a cute blush made Guy envious of Kakashi's relationship. Yush, perhaps it is time for me to enjoy the springtime of youth too. Guy-sensei. Naruto looked at him confused. Guy laughed, paying for their meal before roughly rubbing her hair. Off you go, Naruto-chan. You must be busy. Fending for her hair. Naruto looked at Guy suspiciously. Sure, thanks for lunch. Picking up her bags, Naruto left the yakitori stand and made her way towards the Hokage Tower. Specifically, she made her way towards the Jonin commander's office. Greeting those familiar on her way, the Chunin guards let her through without a fuss. Naruto maintained her polite smile until she was inside the Junin commander's office. You look creepy, Shikaku sighed, putting down his pen. I expected to see you earlier. Are you here to dig into me too like my stupid son? Naruto dropped her smile, placing her bags on the floor by the door before taking a seat. No, you suffered enough from Shikamaru's nagging. Shikaku sighed in relief. So, how do I address you now? Naruto gave him a dirty look. Don't be weird with me now. Nothing has changed between the Nara clan and me. Ah, but you're a married woman now, Naruto. Shikaku shook his head. Do I call you Mrs. Hitaki? Shikaku looked bitter. It leaves a dull taste in my mouth. If I had it my way, Shikaku grumbled his last words so Naruto wouldn't hear him. It's still Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto laughed at his victorious look. So, Shikaku raised a brow. What is the council's plan to annul my marriage once they find out? I'm sure you've got a plan. Naruto folded her arms. She watched Shikaku's expression carefully and noticed his pupils shaking. Sighing, she waved her hand around and said, spit it out. It's embarrassing, Shikaku straightforwardly admitted. It's not something I want to say to someone I've essentially raised. Well, from what I've gathered, the council will try all they can to separate Kakashi and me, resulting in Kakashi going mad, forcing Tsunade Ba-chan's hand to either imprison or execute him. Naruto felt her blood boiling, and by the look on Shikaku's face, her eyes had turned red. I will defend my husband until my last breath should this happen. No matter the cost. You're probably already aware, but I've bonded myself to Kakashi. Shikaku groaned, rubbing his forehead. How? He hesitated. Did Kakashi also bond with you? When she nodded, Shikaku muttered a curse. Well, Konoha might burn at this stage and changes my thoughts. Naruto, once the council confirms that you and Kakashi are bonded, they won't attempt to annul your marriage. Instead, now don't get mad at me, it's just a thought, they might push you into the Clan Restoration Act. Excuse me. Naruto's fingers gripped the chair tightly and the wood snapped. I said not to get mad at me, Shikaku grumbled. The issue will be with Kakashi and Sasuke. A Hitaki only has one spouse and never in history have they shared a spouse. Sasuke will most likely throw a fit and refuse to take any other wife but you. His demands were specific. The issue should be me. Naruto slammed her hand down, destroying the chair further. No matter what shit comes out of their mouth, there's no way they could convince me into that old tradition. I want Kakashi. I only want Kakashi. I know, Shikaku said calmly, raising his hand to Naruto to take a breath. Do you want kids? What? Where did? Of course, I want kids, Naruto huffed, wondering where Shikaku was going with this. Shikaku sighed, pulling out an old scroll and sliding it over his desk. It's a medical document written by the Shodai Hokage. It talks about his wife, Mito Uzumaki, and her infertility after having their second child. However, this was their only child conceived post-sealing of the Kyubi. Hashirama-sama documented thoroughly his wife's infertility. It was a sore spot for Mito-sama, who wanted a big family and discovered the cause is due to the corrosive chakra in his wife's system, which makes it difficult to sustain and maintain life once given birth. Naruto didn't pick up the scroll. Her body refused, with Kurama apologizing. The Kyubi had no clue this would happen. If I was a man, would I have the same issue? No, Shikaku answered, it only affects those that can carry children. Seeing her distress, he called out to her, Naruto, we need to continue this conversation. It has to be said aloud, otherwise you might just deny it. He knew his adoptive daughter's thought process well. I don't want you to rush anything, but unless you're carrying Kakashi's child, then the council will do all they have you carry Sasuke's heir. Naruto let the hot tears fall down her cheeks, glaring at Shikaku, but her anger wasn't directed at him. What makes him so special? What makes the Uchiha Keke Genkai so special that the council are willing to lie on their backs and spread their legs so easily for one man? There are plenty of women that would love to have Sasuke even look at them. She pounded on her chest, feeling frustration building up. I'm not making an excuse for the council. Shikaku said first, the Uchiha clan co-founded Konohagakure with the Senju. They're desperate to keep hold of that foundation. They've become delusional. They're also in favor of Sasuke because of his bloodline. The older generation will be a difficult bunch to get around. Shikaku noticed a change in his adoptive daughter and frowned. Don't kill them. That's too obvious. Do you want my suggestion? Naruto puffed her cheeks and nodded. Leave with Kakashi. Don't come back until you've had a kid. I'm sure Hokage-sama will work something up and make it seem like a long-term mission. Spend a few years away from here. Shikaku suggested. Naruto opened her mouth to reply before closing it once again. Thinking on his words, it took her a while before she said, Kakashi and I are leaving for our honeymoon tonight. Shikaku hummed, tapping his desk in thought. Discuss it with Kakashi and send me your answers. I'll get it sorted on my end if he agrees. Getting up, he knelt before Naruto and pulled her into a tight hug. We'll hold a big wedding when you come back. One to shut Yoshino up and save us. Naruto laughed. Returning the hug, she buried her head in Shikaku's shoulder. I'm still worried. Shikaku held her tighter. Don't rush to come back, but whenever you do decide to return, I will have everything cleaned up on this end. I promise. Naruto felt reassured and pulled back. She grinned at Shikaku. Kakashi might be disappointed we'll be moving into his family's estate later than he planned. Shikaku waved her thoughts away. Go speak to your husband and enjoy your time away. Do try and relax, Naruto. Shikaku shuffled awkwardly before kissing her temple gently. If anything happens, call for me. Naruto closed her eyes blissfully. I promise. Picking up her bags, Naruto opened the office door and almost screamed when she saw Kakashi waiting outside the door. The Chunin guarding the door were on the verge of tears, their legs visibly shaking and close to passing out. Why didn't you say you were outside? Commander's rules. No entry unless you have an appointment, Kakashi muttered tonelessly. He could see the marks of her crying and clenched his fists tightly. Shikaku was behind Naruto, giving him a tired look. Come in, Kakashi, before you traumatize my men. Shikaku waved him in with Naruto closing the door. Kakashi was quick to stick himself to Naruto's side and hide her from Shikaku with his body. He reached to her cheeks and whispered, Are you okay? What happened? I came as soon as I felt something wrong. I should be asking what happened to you. Naruto whispered back, You're covered in blood and, is this ash? Oh my god, did you set something on fire? She rubbed the soot off his flak jacket with her thumb. This is more important. You've been crying, Kakashi countered. Naruto frowned, the bad feeling coming back from earlier. What's up with all this blood? Ahem. Shikaku cleared his throat. Seeing the two fall into their world. We need to talk. The two of you can chit-chat once I've said my piece. Shikaku waited until Kakashi and Naruto approached his desk. He quickly explained the situation of Kakashi and was glad the man was cool-headed as Naruto flared back up in anger. However, the look in Kakashi's eye told Shikaku the man was ready to roll some heads. When talking about children, Shikaku was amused by Kakashi's shy reaction and Naruto scolding him. It reminded Shikaku of Minato and Kushina. If you agree, I can get Hokage-sama to send the mission to your honeymoon location. You mentioned snow, so are you going to Yuki no Kuni or a country that happens to have snow? No, it's best if I don't know and you leave either a Toad or Ninkin with Tsunade-sama. I agree. Kakashi nodded and kept to himself it wasn't Yuki no Kuni they were going to. And I will take you up on your offer. It'll be nice to get away from Konoha for a while. Naruto looked at Kakashi. What about the Hitaki estate? It'll always be there and I've talked to Guy before. He's agreed to help while we went on our honeymoon. Kakashi replied, easing his wife's discomfort. Good thing you went shopping for more warm clothes. We might have to delay our departure until tomorrow. You should leave tonight, Shikaku interrupted. I'm sure you're aware when security at the gate is most lax. The council already have eyes on Naruto. They aren't aware that she knows of Sasuke's return yet. They believe Tsunade-sama has been putting off telling Naruto out of respect for her. They know you've been staying over, Kakashi, but they aren't suspicious of your relationship. They believe you're guarding Jiraiya's heir. How annoying, Naruto grumbled with a frown. She could feel Kurama reacting to the conversation too. He wasn't all too happy with all the political notions too. having to run away and hide while that bastard can freely walk into the village. His actions should warrant him a nuke nin. Ha, I might just slip rumors in other nations of his exploits so they can do what Konoha is too scared to do. Trap him within the village. Kakashi grew concerned with Naruto's visible hostility and her raging emotions almost consumed him. Naruto, he placed his hand on hers, rubbing his thumb across her knuckles. I can't believe you're showing so much passion about another man in front of me. He pretended to act hurt and gripped his heart. What? No, wait, that's not what I meant. Naruto panicked. Sasuke, that bastard. Every time she mentioned him, Kakashi appeared more hurt and causing her to panic further. I'm only passionate about you. She blurted out in a frenzy that she felt lightheaded. Kakashi grinned, he could feel her sincerity and stood up. Picking up Naruto's bags before pulling her close to him, Kakashi faced Shikaku and nodded, my wife is feeling unwell. I should take her home. Naruto was still mumbling incoherently to Kakashi as her face grew redder and redder by the second. Shikaku could only watch amused by their actions as they disappeared. Definitely like Minato and Kushina. The sneaky bastard. Kakashi brought them to their bedroom and laid the dazed Naruto on their futons. Ma, passion for only me he teased, slowly pulling down his mask as she stuttered and weakly hit his chest in protest. I'm so happy that my wife said something so sweet. Leaning down, he peeked both her cheeks before trying to kiss her lips. However, he frowned when she blocked his path with her hands. Although she felt overheated, Naruto managed to mumble, blood. Clean up. Kakashi sighed before holding Naruto tightly and covering her in blood and soot too. Naruto screamed murder. Freeing her arms, she pounded on Kakashi's back as he continued to get her dirty. Get off me. Oh my god, you're getting my futon dirty too. We'll share one. He grinned and rubbed his dirty hair all over her face. My dear passionate wife. Naruto glared at his cheeky pet name for her. What? Kakashi's grin grew wider. Let's bathe together. It took Naruto full 3 seconds to process Kakashi's request. No way. Is that why you got me dirty? Who knows? I don't. Kakashi pouted. You're a grown-ass man. Naruto sighed, her defense crumbling when he looked so cute. She even reached out to pinch one of his puffed cheeks. It was a sweet side to Kakashi she never witnessed. Only on one condition. Several minutes later. I wasn't expecting this, Kakashi said with a frown. Touching the blindfold over his eyes. They were in the bathroom and he already had a towel wrapped around his waist. How come you're not wearing one? Naruto was busy warming up the bath water and ignored Kakashi. Turning on the shower, she waited until it was warm enough before guiding Kakashi to the wash chair. I'll wash your back. Kakashi wanted to argue but kept his mouth shut when the hot water hit his skin and felt Naruto's small hands on his back. Sighing in relief, Kakashi decided to not argue and enjoy his time. He was surprised when Naruto started to wet his hair and start shampooing it and asked, "Is this why you agreed to bathe together? So you can play with my hair?" Naruto chuckled, "Maybe. Your hair is weird. Does it dry naturally in that position?" "Yup." Kakashi hummed, enjoying the scalp massage. "We should do this more often," he said dreamily. Kakashi felt so at ease. Even though he knew his wife was behind him. I'll think about it. Naruto washed out the shampoo and looked at Kakashi's face. Although blindfolded, his hair down was a sight to see. Naruto gobbled up his appearance before forcing her gaze away to wash her hair. Kakashi, hearing that Naruto was done, got up slowly until he felt her skin. "Let me help," he murmured into her ear, the water pouring down their faces. She was glad he was blind at this moment as her face turned bright red. "I can do it myself." "Naruto," Kakashi groaned painfully, "please." Soon, he felt a soapy cloth in his hands and hummed happily. Feeling around, Kakashi began washing her back gently before moving towards her shoulders and down her arms. He could hear her sharp intakes of breaths and began to slow down his movements into gentle round motions. Moving his body flush against her back, Kakashi gathered suds in his hands and massaged her stomach slowly. Kakashi, Naruto moaned, holding onto the wall for support. Kakashi hummed, feeling his wife's body against his all. He lowered his head, finding her ear and nibbled on it gently. Every gasp and moan that left her lips excited Kakashi. Naruto, he moaned into her ear as his hands traced the skin under her S. He could feel her shivering against him. Can I touch you? Naruto was too busy trying to gather her bearings as Kakashi's touch was driving her mad. In her daze, Naruto rubbed against him and felt his heart underneath his towel on her. She sighed lightly when Kakashi's fingers trailed over her yet missing her sensitive nipples. They both knew bathing with each other would lead to something like this. They were both dancing around the edge with each other. Naruto, I want to touch you, Kakashi confessed, leaving butterfly kisses down her neck and ing lightly between her shoulder and neck. This action caused Naruto to gasp in delight. Just touching, only touching. Kakashi quickly fondled Naruto's soft S. Her nipples were trapped between his fingers as he teased them until they were hard. Her throaty moans encouraged Kakashi to play with them further and flick them as he needed her S. Kakashi growled. He wanted to see her reaction. Instead, he ed on her ear harder and made her moan louder. Naruto, he groaned into her ear as her rubbed against him. The steam from the room made her scent more prominent and it drove Kakashi wild. Cupping her greedily in his hand, Kakashi's other traveled down her body. Relishing in touching her plump skin until he felt coarse hair touch his fingers and grinned into Naruto's neck. He could feel his getting harder. She kept herself natural. Moving further down, Kakashi groaned when his fingers slid between her folds and felt her wetness coat his fingers. I'll make you feel good, wife, he promised, yet Naruto was already grinding on his fingers. He could feel her cunt pulsing against his fingers. Kakashi could only imagine she was aching desperately. Kakashi please, Naruto pleased, leaning her head back on Kakashi's shoulder as the water poured down her body. Her hand reached back and held onto his neck for support. Please, she begged and gasped when his fingers played with her. The ache was deep within her and she needed more. More. Please. I want more. Kakashi laughed. You're going to be the death of me. Kakashi pushed her forward. Although he couldn't see her, he could imagine which position she was in. Hold onto the wall, he ordered, spanking her plump when she sounded confused. I'm not going to you, Naruto. Not today. What? Naruto bent over and held the wall obediently. Looking over her shoulder, she noticed Kakashi's towel had dropped to the floor and felt her heart jump and her eyes widen at the sight of his. Kakashi was thick. As thick as her forearm with a slight upwards curve that she knew would hit all her spots. Kakashi, she gulped. I'll only touch you today. I stand by what I said before. Our first time will be in a bed. Kakashi's grin was feral as he took his time kneading Naruto's, turned the water off. Listening, Naruto was quick to stop the showerhead and yelped when Kakashi spanked her again. I listened. That's for being such a good girl, Kakashi heard her whimper. She liked being praised. His fingers found their way to her wet cunt and slowly stimulated her. Kakashi wanted her to feel good, and judging by what he was hearing in her hips eagerly meeting his fingers, his wife was enjoying his touch. More, Naruto pleaded. Oh God, please more, Kakashi. Very well. Kakashi grabbed Naruto, turning her around and pushing her against the tiled wall. He pulled one of her legs over his shoulder and buried his tongue deep in her mouth as he plunged a finger deep inside her wet cunt. He swallowed her gasps as he fingered her. Once he curled his finger, Naruto trembled against him and seemed to struggle to breathe. There we go, Naruto. Get ready. Wah! Naruto couldn't respond as she bit back a scream. Kakashi's fingers soon turned into fingers as they rubbed firmly against the walls of her. Her tummy was churning and the pleasure was overwhelming that she tried to wriggle away. She was hot inside. Kakashi rubbed the top of her cunt walls as she shivered in delight. His mouth traveled down her neck until he greeted an erect nipple. The hard nub was welcomed into his mouth and flicked his tongue back and forth without relenting. Switching between her nipple and flicking it in his mouth, Kakashi craved to know what color they were. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, Kakashi! Naruto screamed. His fingers were deep in her with his thumb teasing her that Naruto couldn't hold on anymore. Kakashi, I'm going to cum. Cum for me, Naruto, Kakashi mumbled with her nipple still in his mouth. Let it go. That's all Naruto needed to hear before she clamped around Kakashi's fingers with a sobbing scream. Kakashi gathered his wife in his arms as she collapsed. He was pleased with the results. Grabbing around for the wet washcloth, he gently cleaned Naruto up before taking them both into the bathtub to relax. He hummed happily as he traced small circles on Naruto's stomach and felt content holding her close. Kakashi, you're not playing fair, Naruto whined. She tried looking over her shoulder. Her hands were pressed against the glass of their private room on the train. Let me touch you too, ah. Naruto gasped, her legs trembling with her forehead pressing against the glass. Naruto begged the glass to give her strength as her insides churned deliciously. Her ears picked up the wet sounder her body was making and was embarrassed. She had never been so wet in her life. That's not what we agreed on, Kakashi chuckled as he slid his fingers deeper into her pulsing. He sighed in delight at the feeling and leaned over her trembling body. His lips met her clothes back and growled. She was still wearing her dress up. Kakashi refused to strip her. He wanted to see her in bed. Ever since they left Konoha, Kakashi spent every minute he could touching Naruto, making her feel good and indulging in her reactions. It excited Kakashi. Every time he would play with her on the side of the road or away from eyes but close enough to get caught, his precious wife would scold and complain, yet she always spread her legs for his eager fingers. Pulling his fingers out, Kakashi looked at his slicked fingers as his wife breathed heavily. Although he had been happily touching his wife, Kakashi kept to his word and did not know what her looked like. However, he did have a vague idea from his fingers constantly memorizing every fold and crevice of her soft. This didn't stop him from tasting her on his fingers. Kakashi made sure to keep eye contact when his wife looked at him. He smirked when she looked away first and pulled up her underwear. Come here, Kakashi muttered. You're not being fair, Naruto grumbled, adjusting her dress before allowing Kakashi to help her sit down. She sighed blissfully when he wrapped an arm around her shoulder with his thumb gently rubbing against her arm. Looking up at her husband, Naruto asked, "Why can't I touch you?" Trust me, Kakashi winked at the blonde, it's for the best we're alone when it's time. We're alone now, Naruto frowned. Kakashi kissed the side of her temple. His eyes were closed, trying to gather himself to wait a few more hours. When would you like to have a kid? Naruto pulled back. She looked into his eyes and asked, "What are you hiding from me?" You're trying to deflect. Kakashi hummed. Naruto, there's reason men in my clan try and hold off mating with their partners for as long as they can. During our first time, I won't let you go until I feel like you have enough of my cum inside of you to hold a child. What? Naruto tried to push Kakashi away, but he firmly held her in place. I could hold you for an hour, a day, or even a week. I won't stop, Naruto. That's why where we're going is far from any village, so there are no distractions. Kakashi warned her. From the Shodai's notes, it's not going to be easy for me to get pregnant. Let alone carry to full term. Naruto was nervous. Not of Kakashi but the dread of multiple miscarriages. She could feel the hopelessness settle in. Kakashi pulled his wife into his lap, feeling her distress, and held her safely. I'm quite proud of my stamina, Kakashi. Naruto slapped him playfully. She knew it was his way of distracting her. You can't truly last a week, right? His smile made her nervous. Her only experience with long-lasting was 6 hours before her partner co-ed and wanted to stop. The thought of Kakashi lasting an entire day excited her, but a week. That's a different story. Have you ever heard of knotting? Kakashi asked. Naruto nodded. Kurama has explained it to me before. I'm not scared, she reassured Kakashi. I know it's painful, and Kurama explained that if my partner is compatible, then I will only feel pleasure and a slight discomfort being stretched so far. I see the Kyubi has prepared you. It sounds like they have been preparing you for a while. Kakashi noted her silence. When did Kurama start whispering indecent things about me? Naruto sighed, giving him a dirty look. A month before I left on my training trip with Ero Sennin. Kakashi was quick to piece things together. When you fought with Sasuke at the Valley of the End. It started from there. Kurama was impressed by your actions. He told me that you could have easily retrieved Sasuke, but instead, you let him go to apply first aid. Then, you pushed your body to the max to get me back to Konoha to be healed. Naruto's hand automatically went to her chest. She could feel the scar tissue of when Sasuke tried to kill her with the Chidori. Feeling guilt enter her, Naruto looked at Kakashi and tilted her head. You shouldn't feel guilty for teaching Sasuke the Chidori. He was the one who misused it. It's not only that, Kakashi sighed, running his fingers through his hair. I had a teammate named Rin Nohara. Kakashi explained the background of their mission, the kidnapping and what happened during their escape. Rin jumped in front of my Chidori. It went straight through her heart and she died instantly. When I saw you with a hole in your chest, the image of Rin overlapped with yours and I panicked. The rational part of me knew you would survive, but I couldn't risk that. I had to get you back to Tsunade-sama. It's not something Kurama should find worthwhile in being your partner. Kakashi-sensei, I told you not to call me that. I know, but I'm speaking to you as your student for a little bit. Naruto smiled, holding his face in her hands. With his mask out of the way, she could see the vulnerability and the years of grief etched onto his face. Ba-chan probably never told you since you're behaving this way. I would have survived, yes, but, if you hadn't been there and taken me back, I wouldn't have been able to continue as a shinobi. Sasuke might have missed my heart, but he did destroy part of my lungs. If you hadn't found me, I would find even the most simple movements painful. I can't speak for Rin, but you should know her better than anyone else that she wouldn't have jumped in front of your jutsu without reason. Naruto could see tears gather in Kakashi's gray eye, yet his Sharingan eye was freely crying. I'm glad that you saved me, Kakashi. I wouldn't be here before you if it wasn't for you. Thank you for being there for me. I know it wasn't easy for you, but I'll always be thankful that you're alive. Finally, the tears in his original eye started falling. Naruto smiled gently and kissed each eye. I want you to feel safe with me, Kakashi, just as I am with you. Ha! Kakashi wrapped his arms around Naruto and buried his head in her chest. Hugging her tightly, Kakashi quietly sobbed into his wife's embrace. She didn't say anything but rubbed his back soothingly. She only held him, and that was more than enough for Kakashi. He took a moment to gather himself. There was something in her words that stuck out to him. Pulling back, he let her wipe his face as he asked, on your training trip with Jiraiya-sama, why did you not return after 2 years? You came back 5 years later. Everyone was surprised you took the Chunin exams in another village. It was even more surprising that you refused to take the Junin exam on your return. It was quite the talk of the village. Naruto sighed. I remembered something bad. She pinched the bridge of her nose. She recalled the nagging letters she received from Ba-chan and the Nara clan. The only way she could do to appease the Nara clan was to update them on her location from time to time. Coincidentally, a Nara would turn up at her location during Nara's mission run and they would catch up. Most often enough, it was Shikaku trying to run away from his paperwork. Imagine at your age, a teenager acting weird around you. Just thinking about it gives me goosebumps. So, I didn't come back until I was an adult. I couldn't risk doing weird shit to you when I was a brat. So it was always your intention to dramatically propose to me, he chuckled when she glared at him. No, I was going to continue being your friend until I could pick up my balls to ask you out. It was hard to find the right timing with my training and your missions. I had the plan to ask you out and slowly seduce you so you'd see me as a woman and not your student, Naruto confessed. I like you a lot, Kakashi. I gathered, Kakashi replied. So if this Sasuke nonsense never happened, when were you planning to ask me out? She was silent. Kakashi arched a brow. Oh, you were never going to do it. I was. Naruto complained. Do you know how hard it is to ask out the most eligible bachelor in the Fire Country? On top of that fact, you're hard to find. It was pure luck I found you at home when I was having that breakdown. It's not hard to ask you out either, you know. What? Your fan club, Kakashi pointed out. They're awfully dedicated to you that it took some time getting rid of them. One by one. He smiled dangerously. They all said the same thing when I asked why none of them made a move. Takane no Hana. Flower on a high peak. That's what they call you. He held her cheek, looking into her deep blue eyes that sparkled whenever she looked at him. Something out of one's reach. You don't give yourself a lot of credit, my wife. You are strong, smart, charismatic, and so incredibly lovely. It was thrilling hunting down those idiots that believe they could have had you. Naruto's eyes widened, seeing Kakashi's fangs poke through his smile. Is that why you were covered in blood that day? No, that was the blood of Sasuke's fan club. I would do anything to keep you safe, Naruto. Naruto laughed, shocking Kakashi with her action. You're one crazy bastard. It's too late to leave me, he warned. Naruto shook her head. I don't plan to. Does this mean you beat up Sakura? Asuma did. Apparently, he's always had a vendetta against her. I can assume it has to do with you. Kakashi shrugged his shoulders. Oh geez, what have I released into Konoha? Naruto shook her head before cuddling into Kakashi. I better keep you on a tight leash. She heard his chest growl at her, but his gentle actions showed her he enjoyed her taunting. My fan club were harmless. As long as they have thoughts about you, then they're my enemy, Kakashi replied. Come here. He grabbed her face and surprised her with a deep kiss. Naruto pulled away and whacked Kakashi over the head. Give me a break, you bastard. Sasuke. What do you mean she's not in the village? Sasuke slammed his fist on the table, making it split in half. You promised me Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto Uzumaki is to be my wife. Where is she? He demanded with a crazed look in his eyes as he glared into the dark room he was in. Tell me where she is, or I tell that precious Hokage of yours what you've been doing under her nose. A tired sigh was heard in the shadows. Go ahead. Why would the Hokage believe in a brat like you? Ha! Sasuke scoffed, leaning back on his chair. Who said the information is coming from me? He smirked, knowing he caught the other person off guard. I still have allies within the village. They would do anything to have the chance of being the Uchiha mistress. I heard male clan heirs can take up to 10 mistresses. It's not difficult to fill those desperate numbers. He tapped on his armrest impatiently. Where is my wife? My sources don't know. It's a classified political mission that even I will have trouble getting details about. All that's known is that it'll be a long-term mission located in the snow. Naruto has been partnered with Kakashi Hatake. Their extraction and backup team has been assigned to Team Asuma. However, they're unaware of the mission until it comes to that point. Long-term. Sasuke frowned. My wife is out on a mission that could take months. Even years. His temper was flaring up once again. Ha! How ridiculous. This must be that incompetent Hokage's way of keeping my wife away from me. That incompetent Hokage can still beat you black and blue, brat. Still showing your loyalty when I know you'll sit on her throne the second that hag is ill. What a sneaky bastard you are, Danzo. Danzo sighed, his bandaged appearance appearing in the dim lighting. Sasuke Uchiha, you will lose powerful allies with that tongue of yours. Gesturing to the shadows, one of his men handed Sasuke a file. What is this? Sasuke didn't bother looking and waved it around. Admirers of Naruto Uzumaki, Danzo replied, withholding his sigh when Sasuke quickly changed his mind and opened the folder. All 27 men and women were hospitalized a few days before Naruto left on her mission. I believe this was Jiraiya's doing. Her admirers are quite tenacious stalkers when they want to be, and Jiraiya must have incapacitated them so he could sneak Naruto out of the village. They managed to get a few days head start before the council was notified. By the time I found out, her traces disappeared. I have reason to believe this is why Tsunade attached Kakashi to her. Ha! Sasuke rumpled the papers in his hands. It's not easy to take out so many people quietly. Jiraiya is a Sannin and named Naruto his heir. It's possible, however, I've considered Kakashi aided him. Danzo watched Sasuke's reaction carefully. Kakashi has been staying with Naruto for at least a week before her disappearance. He closed his eyes and sighed quietly when Sasuke reacted as he expected. Danzo couldn't fathom why Sasuke wanted the blonde Jinchuriki. There were better candidates to choose from. Danzo's only guess was control. Sasuke wanted to control Naruto. I heard you and Naruto grew up quite close, like best friends. What do you want? Sasuke sneered, throwing the papers on the floor. He had destroyed the table anyway. It made sense that Kakashi would be her protector. In Sasuke's mind, Kakashi was always there but never got too close to his students. Kakashi saw his students as a mission to complete. Word spreads, Sasuke. They say they expected you and Naruto to end up together, but everything changed on the day Naruto went to retrieve you. Some say it happened even before then. Danzo listened to all rumors. No matter of ridiculous or insignificant they were, he listened to them all. The Nara clan have been sponsors of Naruto ever since she joined the academy. It's not hard to notice the increased hyper-vigilance of their ward after that failed mission. You were gone, Sasuke. Naruto has changed. Do you honestly expect someone who has been trained by a Sannin to welcome you with open arms? Danzo was aware of the damage done to Naruto's body. I won't ask again. What do you want? You need a second candidate. The council cannot guarantee Naruto Uzumaki unless we know her location. You already have someone in mind. Danzo nodded. You are familiar with her. Another team member of yours. Trained by Tsunade Senju, a Sannin. Sakura Haruno, a well-established medic nin, is believed to be the second coming of Tsunade Senju herself. She still has affection for you. An offspring between you two will be beneficial. Sakura huh? Sasuke smirked. I feel sorry for that bitch. Always jealous of my wife. Do you know Sakura tried to sabotage Naruto in the Forest of Death during our Chunin exams? We had just finished defeating the Sound Nin and it was time for Sakura to take up watch. Naruto had come into rest. Sasuke gestured to his right side. It was cold. An unconscious move on Naruto's part to move towards the nearest source of warmth. She came right up against me. I remember her breath on my neck and the way she clung to my clothes. Naruto was so vulnerable and she saw what I did to those Sound Nin, yet she innocently clung to me. Before that moment, I did consider Naruto a good friend of mine. Danzo kept quiet, taking in every word that came out of the Uchiha's mouth. Sasuke's eyes glowed brightly in the dark. Sakura thought we were both sleeping when she snuck back inside. My guess is she wanted my body while I was unconscious. Naruto refused to rest after the attack from Orochimaru. I concluded it was for the same reason why I refused to sleep with Sakura on watch. I could see in the dark, a kunai in Sakura's hand while she looked at Naruto in my arms. Sakura wanted to hurt what was mine. That bitch finally was ready to kill. Sakura's screaming woke Naruto up. Naruto wasn't supposed to see, but that bitch was so loud. I only broke her arm, but she was so loud. Sasuke shrugged his shoulders. I smacked her around a bit. Sakura wasn't the only one ready to kill that night. That bitch dared to lay a hand on what's mine. Ha! What happened next? Sasuke leaned forward. Naruto stopped me. Even after I defended her and told her what Sakura was going to do. She stopped me. That didn't stop me from at least knocking out that pink-haired whore to keep her irritating voice silenced. Naruto, my dear wife, looked so annoyed. She forgot how cute and desperate she was when clinging to me. What did you do to Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke? Danzo frowned. The fine details of Sasuke's story and his behavior told Danzo this young man was obsessed with Naruto. Don't look at me like that, Danzo. Sasuke smirked. I simply confessed my love to Naruto. His fists clenched. It was dark but I could see it. Her eyes trembled but she turned me down. She said I only see you as a brother. How annoying, he muttered bitterly. So, I tried to make her see me as a man. When we arrived at the tower I tried again when we were alone. I kissed her, she punched me, and I kissed her again, she broke my nose, it was that sort of tango. Danzo held his tongue. They would have been 13 back then. They were still considered shinobi in diapers. Did you rape Naruto Uzumaki? Rape? Sasuke scoffed. I would never do that to my wife. I tried to make love to her and give her the best gift an Uchiha can give. My seat in air, he closed his eyes as if reliving that moment. I was interrupted before Naruto and I could become one. A regret of mine, he sighed. That filthy beast inside of her took over and choked me unconscious. Opening his eyes, the Sharingan reflected in the dark, yet I'm still alive. I know Naruto told that disgusting parasite to stop. I know Naruto cares about me. She even ran after me when I left the village. I know she loves me as well. Tell you what, if you give me Sakura I'll kill her and carve her up pretty and give her corpse to my wife as a gift. Sasuke laughed. I have a feeling that bitch never stopped tormenting my wife after I left. It's only fair I prepare a fitting wedding gift when I go pick up my wife. Kakashi and Naruto. Wow. Naruto gasped in awe, pulling her cloak tighter as she looked at the cute cabin hidden in the snow. The setting sun added a layer of mystique to the area, and when Naruto noticed the area felt warmer than their trek to the cabin, she looked at Kakashi excitedly. He had stopped wearing his mask since they got off the train. Is there a hot spring here? Kakashi nodded. The hot spring overlooks the snowy mountains. Let's go inside. He leaned down, kissing her near gently and whispered. I'm going to take my time with you before you, Naruto. I will have you begging me. He didn't need to look to know of his wife's nosebleed. But I want you now. Naruto grumbled, looking up at her mischievous husband. I've been waiting days now. Here's the plan. We walk through the door, strip and just go wild. Plan rejected. Kakashi tapped her nose and began walking towards the cabin. That doesn't sound fun. Opening the door, he threw his bag inside and quickly picked Naruto up bridal style when she was close enough. He grinned at her squeal and walked them over the threshold. He looked into her clear eyes and said, I plan to fall in love with you here. Haha, what? You can't just decide when and where you fall in love. That's now how it works. Naruto shook her head at Kakashi's declaration. I think I worded that wrong, but it's more of a prediction. Kakashi gently placed her down while kicking the door close. With the door closed, they of them immediately felt tense, yet they were smiling at each other. They were truly alone, isolated on a snowy mountain with nobody nearby for miles. It was just the two of them for however long they wanted to stay in the cabin.